Hey, what's going on, guys? This is episode number 28 of the Think Up podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I had to stand up for this one because this is something that I know that I'm struggling with and striving to overcome myself, and it's dealing with the danger of complacency. The danger of complacency. I just want to cover a couple of things on complacency. I believe it's so easy to be complacent. It's so easy to focus on things that are really not important. Focus on things that is not moving your vision and your purpose forward. In our culture today, it's so many things that skew our focus. It's so many things that we can concern ourselves with, how we look to other people, our finances, and there's a lot of things that are important. But in this season of my life and my wife's life, we are so focused on purpose, embracing our purpose. And I know I'm finding, and my wife is finding, that we become complacent when things or our vision or how we feel go up or down. This is what I mean. You wake up every morning. Sometimes you don't feel like working out. Sometimes you don't feel like reading. Sometimes you don't feel like writing. Those you authors out there. Sometimes you don't feel like building that business. But how do you respond to that? This is where complacency comes from. You become complacent when your feelings override your disciplines. It's so important for you to be disciplined in this season. It's 2021. We all got a vision. We all got purpose. I don't think nobody else needs no more facts or information. We need discipline. We need to put our faith in action, and that action needs to be transformed into your daily disciplines. I got a quote right here from my book, Think Up to Get Up, How to Break Free from Destructive Ways of Thinking. And it's one of my favorite quotes, and it rebukes me every day because I want to just apply faith all the time and just be faith. But we all know faith without works is dead. But there's times when you just want to lean a little bit more on the faith side. You don't want to be as diligent and act on the things that God is calling you to act on. The quote is, your faith brings you to opportunities that your disciplines will only allow you to embrace. God put that word in my heart about 2 years ago. I was so focused on believing God for bigger things, greater things. And every time I was believing God for greater things, He kept bringing these disciplines that I needed to act on every day. And I kind of will push the disciplines to the side and focus more on the faith. Oh, I'm believing God. I'm trusting God. I want to pray. I want to do all the things to increase my faith. But yet God will drop those disciplines back in my spirit, back in my heart. One of the disciplines He was putting in my heart is to read. Let me be straight up with y'all. I do not like to read. I got Audible. I listen to audiobooks all the time. I did not want to read, y'all. God kept putting it in my heart. You want to be an author? Calling you to be the author? You got to read. 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 The point I'm making is, guys, is if you want to embrace your purpose, if you want to be all God is calling you to be, once you have the faith, which is important, faith without works is dead. When God drop in your spirit the daily disciplines you need to do in order to embrace that purpose, you can't just push it to the side and then go back to faith. God knows I did that. I was so focused on faith and believing God in the spiritual side and not the practical side. So I want to cover a couple things that will cause you to be complacent. The first thing is frustration with the season that you're in. You can be frustrated in the season that you're in and drown out the voice of God and what God is calling you to do. You can be frustrated that you're maybe not be moving ahead as fast as you're supposed to. You may be frustrated that things may have happened in your life that you didn't want to happen. You may be frustrated that people may have walked away from you. People don't believe in you like you think they should believe in you. That makes anybody frustrated. But you can't allow your frustrations to cause you to be stagnant in your life. You can't allow your frustrations to minimize your purpose and your dream and your vision. You got to be all God is calling you to be. And that only happens when you submit to the daily disciplines. After you pray, after you get done fasting, after you get done believing God, people touch and agree with you. There's some actions you have to do every day for that to manifest in your life. You can't just have faith. You can't have faith in faith. I did that for a season. This is a season for you to walk into your purpose. I'm striving to walk into mine. And no, it's not easy. But what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Work the rest of your life? Have a job the rest of your life? The people who listen to the sound of my voice and are inspired by these messages is people who, you got a purpose on your life. And your purpose is greater than just making money. Your purpose is greater than just trying to do or be something to show people that you made it. God created you for a purpose, created me for a purpose. And you got to be serious about that. And I had to get in my spirit, and I'm still learning to get in my spirit, that I got to be serious about my disciplines. I just can't be all about faith. Oh man, I can go on and on about that because it's in our culture. It's so easy to be so focused on the spiritual side and waiting on God and doing things that cause you to be passive. But when God drops something in your spirit, you want to, let me get confirmation. When the stuff you don't want to do, let me listen. This is the season to act. And many of you under the sound of my voice know that there's some things that God put in your heart that you should have been acted on. It's a blessing that God is still giving you the opportunity to submit to those disciplines, but submit to them. I'm going to leave that there. Number 2, listening to the people. Listening to too many people. I wrote this so fast, y'all. I really had some notes in my computer, but my wife, she went on a doctor's appointment because we about to have twins in the next about 15 days. Really excited. So went to a doctor's appointment and left all my notes. So I had to rewrite everything. So I was more organized than this, but just bear with me. But listening to too many people. One of the things that'll cause you to be complacent is listening to too many people. We all know everybody's a guru. Everybody got a word. And not to minimize their word, not to minimize anything or take away from anybody. But you and I know you can't listen to 700-800 people. Yes, you can follow that many people, but listening to them. Who is God calling you to open your heart up to in this season? I highly recommend, the people around you in your church, those you got a church on, listening to the men and women of God around you that you trust. But y'all, you cannot walk into your purpose listening to 20 and 30 people's instructions. And I mean opening your heart up to. Because you can listen to something and it fall by the wayside. You got to be discerning with what you hear. But listening to too many people, just watch out for listening to too many people. That's definitely a distraction in this season. And number 3 is doubting your purpose. You can be doubting the vision and the purpose that God placed in your life and in your heart. And because you doubt it, you move slow. You don't do the disciplines that God put on your heart to do. Trust the Spirit of God. Trust what He's leading you to do and submit to the daily disciplines. There's a scripture I wanted to read right quick. It's my old Bible right here. It's Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. Commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts shall be established. What you trying to birth, the legacy that God is calling you to build, the cycles God is calling you to start, and the cycles God is calling you to break, it's important. You're not going to break those cycles being diligent one day, complacent the next day, all about faith one day, passive the next day. This is a season of consistency in my life, and I know in many of y'all life. Allow God to lead you. Confront your fears, confront your insecurities, confront your doubts. I'm not saying it's easy, but in order to embrace your purpose, in order for you to trust and embrace and courageously go forward and embrace everything God has for you, it has to be done. You can waste so much time waking up each morning and making a new decision that you're going to get serious today. Make one decision and move forward in that decision. But don't wake up every day. Should I be serious today? Should I do it today? Should I do it today? Don't allow your fears and insecurities to cause you to be complacent. I pray this content bless you. It's episode number 28 of Think Up Podcast. My name is Robert Laurie. You can email me any questions, anything at robertlaurie3@gmail.com. Please go get the book, Think Up to Get Up, How to Break Free from Destructive Ways of Thinking. This is a book I wish I would have read or known about, or the content rather, about 10 years ago. The things that God blessed me to learn, like this quote right here, it would have put me farther. But by the grace of God, This is why I'm so diligent about when I want to give the content away in this book. Yes, I want you to buy it. Yes, I want to earn some money from it, of course. Who doesn't? You spend the time to write a book, take you some years. Of course, you want to get a return. But I want to be a blessing to the people who not only bless me, but also my 10-year-old self, my 20-year-old self, my 26-year-old self. Might have added some more years to myself. My 26-year-old self. I wish I would have known the different things that God blessed me to learn today. And the legacy God is calling you to build, y'all, take that serious. You know, me and my wife was talking the other day about how God calls each generation to start cycles and to stop cycles. It's important to stop some cycles. Like I had to stop the cycle of being addicted to pornography. I had to stop the cycle of fear, stop the cycle of poverty. But also, what is God calling you to start? God is calling me to start cycles. That's why, like, I'm the first author in my family. That's a cycle. My son, I'm finna write a book with my son. He wants to be a little author. He sit down and want to write a little book in it, and it's so funny. You know, he was sitting down and he wrote out the little pages and stuff, and he's so inspired to want to be an author. And it just hit me like, man, like this is a cycle that I started, being an author. Making greatness normal in your family is bigger than just taking care of your kids, doing the right thing or doing what's expected of you. Let's start cycles, y'all, even with this podcast. That's what I'm striving to do. And I tell y'all so many times, this is out of my comfort zone, but who cares? To embrace your purpose, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And once you get out, diligently go forward. I pray this content bless y'all. Please comment any questions. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like this content, just look at my name, Robert L. Lloyd 3. I really appreciate you guys, and God bless. Thank you.